Welcome, everybody, to Scientia Direct. Obviously, for those who are new and don't know about this concept, think of it as a Nintendo Direct, but just for, my own personal lore story, Scientia, the big grand story that I've been writing since 2021. Well, that's kind of a lie, it's been in production longer than that, but I guess it really started taking its writing process in 2021, so I guess that kind of tracks. But I just wanted to do this video as to keep you all updated as well as like excited for the new stuff we've got coming up. And obviously to, give context as to what's been going on. So I think it's just best to get into it. And by starting off with it, Peeps Like Remastered, the new album that is currently in, production, should we say. Obviously, this album's taken fucking forever. Should have been out, let's just say, earlier this year. Let's say January, February time. But life had its own plans. That stuff didn't really go to fruition, and stuff is currently currently overlapping with certain stuff in production. So I apologize in that regard. I just can't do anything about it. But what I can say is that you'll be getting a new single coming in May, which is Technical Directions' remaster. Obviously, I wanted to remaster this one for a while. It's the first track of the album, apart from the intro. Yeah, you didn't expect an intro for this album, didn't you? I didn't list it on the track list. And for those who don't know the track list, Merry Christmas. Yeah, the album will be 16 tracks total. Obviously, with the 4 deluxe tracks mixed in. Obviously, the main track list, the standard tracks, have been expanded upon and also renamed to fit the current state of the lore. Obviously, Rematrix is now changed to Rematris due to obvious reasons. So, after Rematris has had its name changed because, it just fits it better, plus it rolls off the tongue a little bit more better than what it used to be. And, we've also replaced, the Wired Ones, track with Ambition Beyond Belief's rock version. Due to the fact that I don't want to remaster the Wild One again. It's been fucking forever. It's been forever doing it. I don't want to remaster the Wild One again. I can't. There's too many of them now. But obviously there is some unknown stuff which I don't have information for yet. The 2 little mystery tracks, track 5 and track 8. Not even I know about those yet, but I know the titles. I can't reveal them though, because that will spoil shit. So yeah, I will just be saying that expect this album to be, I'd say expect the album somewhere from mid this year to late this year. So somewhere between that time range, I'd say. And yes, the album cover itself is currently in a working in progress cover. Obviously, I know I've kind of hinted at the original design of it being the album cover, but I want to do something else for it other than just having decrypted holding a scythe, and that's kind of it. I don't want to have that as the album cover. I feel like I can do better with that. So that's kind of it. Obviously, with Peeps Like Remastered, we'll be getting a digital release, Spotify, Apple Music, and also YouTube Music. Those who don't want to use Spotify, don't want to use Apple Music, you have YouTube Music as well. And even then, you still have the YouTube video itself that will be releasing along with it. So, don't worry, I thought of everything. For the previous project for Scientia, which is Into the Infinitude Re-Envisioned, I'm going to be getting that on Spotify as well. Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. Those 3 are my main ones I'll be using. They'll be going under both of them will be going under the Brandon B.B.B. artist page, so you'll be able to get them whenever, I announce that they dropped, so stay tuned for that one. Do want to talk about the overall story as well. This is kind of another big point. The overall story. Chapter 1's getting a rewrite, along with the prologue itself as well. I feel like I can do better with both of them. So with that being said, both of those videos on this channel will be taken down, will be deleted, and it's just a whole bunch of process. Because not only do they need to be rewritten, I feel like I want to get the written story done first before working on audio stuff. The actual audio drama itself, other than just releasing it chapter by chapter, and obviously it takes too fucking long. So what I'll be doing is I'll be dedicating my time to this story and just writing it all out. I know that the story has gone through many different changes. One of the main changes, I'd say, is more or less into the Tramaxiverse part of it all, but you'll understand why in the game itself. So yeah, the overall story is going to get a rewrite. Well, only some parts of it that don't really make sense. Speaking of the game though, let's just talk about that for a minute. The exploration update. I know for a fucking fact people have been waiting for this. The main criticism about the game itself, the game demo so far, which was released, I'd say a few months ago now, maybe earlier this year, I can't remember. But the main criticism of it was that it was too short of an experience. So with this demo, you get to explore, as it's titled, the exploration update. There'll be some stuff in there as well, new areas to explore. There'll be bug fixes to previous stuff. Obviously, I know the battling system needs a bit of a rebalance. Trust me, I've been working hard on that. I have been. It's just trying to find the right medium ground for it all. It's annoying. But thankfully for the boss in the demo, I'm not gonna spoil it for those who haven't played it. Link in the description. Play it. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just saying you can just play it. It's free. And there's no AI being used in the game. I promise. There's no AI. I'm not like them, content farms and shit. But yeah, you will have this kind of demo to just explore the Tramaxverse, and also a bit of an extension. You will also be knowing what happens after the events at the ending of the current demo that's out. So yeah, you get to actually explore and do shit. But yeah, I obviously know that the game is still in its early phases. Obviously, certain stuff will change. The main area where the boss fight is, that will also change. You get to explore a little bit as well. But that won't be for this update. I know it says the exploration update. But I don't know how to go about with it at the moment. So, where the boss fight currently is, I don't know how to, do that area. But the events afterwards, I've got some things cooking up. Obviously the exploration demo, I wanted it to release the day that this direct bit is going out. I had the point here in my document. That's not happening anytime soon. I'm recording this on the 3rd of April, which is 13 days before the direct. It's not coming out. But what I can promise is that the demo is going to be releasing next month. I don't have an exact date for it though, so again, you'll just have to keep in the loop of what's going on. I'll be making a video on the TGT channel, link in the description as well. And you'll get that trailer whenever it drops, sometime in May. I'd say late May is probably the best time, but if I can get it done for mid-May, then yeah, you get to have that as well. There's a little bonus. But yeah, enough about the update. What about the full game? The full experience, the full game. Obviously the full game is nowhere near fucking finished, as explained while I'm doing the exploration update to begin with. But the overall progress that I've made so far on this, I've made a test room that will go completely, unseen in the final releases, just to test like new functions, new stuff, fixing bugs and whatnot. So there's like this big room that I have with like interactables and collectibles and whatnot. This is what I use to make the game function. I just copy and paste it, changing stuff around. Makes it easier for me, and it just gets the job done. But the overall full game itself will be, I have it written down here as late 2026 to early 2027. That's a goal for me. That's going to be the goal to get the game out. So let's just say from November this year to February of next year. So it's the gateway I have to get the full game out. And obviously along with the full game, when it releases, you'll get the soundtrack on Spotify, Apple Music and YouTube Music, as well as the TGT YouTube channel the day after the game's release. And obviously it will be the day after the live event as well. Yes, I will be streaming the game. You will get to see it before the game actually goes public. So that's only for those who want to watch it and don't want to spoil yourselves, for those who just don't want to play the game itself, because I know people don't really have a computer. You can actually just watch me play the game, get your own input and whatnot. I just want to thank, for those who did the trailers, obviously I want to thank Beastly for voicing Commander Crimson, King for voicing Commander Crocker, Winter for voicing the main fucking threat, the ultimatum. Fucking had fun writing him, and also directing the vocal stuff as well with him. He also gave his input. I just want to say massive sorry to Squish. The third trailer, I had to take it down because due to you know, the rewrite of the story, I don't really feel comfortable having that trailer out. But within the exploration update, you'll get to know why, which kind of rectifies the entire thing. So sorry, Squish, but the overall explanation itself will be, you know, it will be fixed. You know, I have a plan for this. Just believe the process. I believe, please. I have hope for this idea to work. You'll find out what the idea is when the exploration update drops. I promise it's a good one. So yeah, that's kind of it for the game. Obviously, you will get, you know, music for the background and whatnot. I kind of haven't really addressed the music of the game itself. Obviously, there's going to be background music, more battle music. Obviously, I know the battle music in the game so far is just, you know, ripped from maybe it's been re-envisioned, and I apologize. It's just placeholders at the moment. I haven't really made anything for the game, you know, for it. But I have been taking liberties in making the demos for those music. So don't worry, I'm working on them. But I would say the next point is, there's a Discord server for this channel now. Yeah, you can actually get the updates for, you know, anything lore related, and also just any other story related, that stuff outside of Scientia's, like, storyline itself. Now, it's also in the description. You'll also get to... This will also be where all the future updates for lore will go. Obviously, I kind of bothered the TTT server for a little bit. For those who are just mainly here for the lore side of things, and also want to get updates on certain other stuff in relation to B.B.B archives, join the Discord server. You get to have a grand old time there. You have interactable roles. You get to know when updates go live. You'll also get to interact with people, and I guess kind of have a fun time. I don't know how to go about with a lore Discord server, so we'll just have to wing it. If it fails, it fails. If it doesn't, happy. But yeah, that's kind of all the stuff that's been known. So what about the announcements? Let's start off with one right now. Enjoy this little bit of a short video. I'd like to do something right for once. So the Phantom of Arcadia is going to be a series, a episodical released series, which by episode you will get to see more of the cryptid's backstory. And there's a reason why I'm doing this, is because it says retold. I know what people are going to think when I say retold. I know what they're thinking right now. They're typing away right now. You're copying someone else. But hey, I just have one point to say. I'm not doing this for the sake of money's reasons. I'm not doing this just for the sake of a cash grab. I'm not doing it because of that. I'm doing it because my boy needs justice. What do I mean by that is just the cryptid himself is... I'd say he's a poorly written character. He's poorly written right now. Especially when it came to the Complexiverse transmissions, he was very fucking poorly written. Including Complexiverse's Decrypted, both of them were poorly written. So, with the rewrite of the overall story itself, the big grand universe of Scientia, I might as well just, you know, rewrite his story and make it make sense, because, you know, he's the main character. He needs to have that depth, he needs to have that emotion to him. So, yeah, I'm not gonna be taking the same story as I did back then. There is no set release date for when the first episode drops. There is no release date at all. But what you can expect it's going to happen 2027. So have that as you will. But there'll be more lore, more emotions to his story. There's going to be more of a weight to his shoulders, I think. Because Decrypted needs to be a character that needs his justice to be written as a main character. I kind of treat him as a side character. I know, I apologize for that. So, yeah, you'll get to know more about him. Plus, Death and Tarnaxia are returning. I had thoughts about how I'm gonna do Tarnaxia, because Tarnaxia was, you know, Tarnaxia was voiced by Nikki. Sadly, she passed 3 years ago, so I'm gonna have to use text-to-speech. I'm not gonna get someone else to, you know, take over the actual voice acting role. I'm just gonna do text to speech. I feel like that's more appropriate. And no, I'm not going to be using the AI to speech thing. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Plus, using AI in projects like this, I don't see any value to doing AI stuff, because it loses all of its human value. It loses all of the hard work and determination put into a project. So that's why I'm not going to be using AI for any project I do, and more or less any video I do. You hear that, people? I'm not using AI for anything. You can just take that as you will. Yeah, you can expect Tarnax's voice to be a bit more of a text-to-speech. I'm not going to be using AI. I'll just be using like the standard text-to-speech programs. I've used I think was it Microsoft Sam for Habo Deaths. I can't remember the exact website I use. I know it just said Sam, so yeah, I use him for Habo Death, so that's a little behind the scenes. For Tarnaxia, I know where to go to get the text-to-speech stuff. I have it saved, so yeah, it's gonna be in the same way how I make Habo Death, where I just put text in from the script, press enter, let it read out in that voice prompt, and then it's easy. I know it's not gonna be those AI voices where it takes someone else's. Let's say, for example, take my voice, put it through a program, put the text with my AI voice on there. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be using like the old school, like FNAF animation, you know, text-to-speech programs, like 2017 text-to-speech programs. So yeah, Phantom of Havocadia. Expect that 2027. Speaking of 2027, let's speak more about an upcoming project. I haven't really told anyone this. I've told some people about the Phantom of Havocadia audio series, but no one knows about this one. So, Into the Infinite 2, big thing, big event, with the Corrupted 5 come to fruition and try and take on the forces of David Altera and the Heroic Soldiers. So, with that event being 4 to 5 years ago now, I think it was 4 years ago, I wanted to turn that into a game. So after War of Scientia is done, you'll be getting an RPG game for Into the Infinite 2. Obviously, I will not be remaking the soundtrack again, so I will not be doing that. It's the same story, the same canon you all knew. It's just, you know, you get to explore the grounds of the Haververse and whatnot. So you get to know what happens. Well, you get to see it for your own eyes in much more detail than, you know, just a grid and dots. So yeah, you get to have that. The release date, well, the first demo release date will probably be somewhere from mid to late 2027. That's all I will say. There's going to be more remastered sounds and also just more lore added to it. So what about the soundtrack? If I'm not going to be remastering it, what am I going to be using? So, you know, Infinite Tomb Re-Envisioned, I'll be using that. So yeah, I will not be doing, you know, and I won't be going through that entire creative process. I mean, I might do with certain tracks if they just didn't hit the mark for Re-Envisioned. I know I had to do the same thing for Complexivus Restoration with Enraged Battlefield, because Enraged Battlefield in Restoration, oh no, I would not be, I don't want to go back to that. So with it being remastered and re-envisioned, I'm glad with how it turned out. So I'll be using that soundtrack. For the game. So yeah, I don't know when the full game for that will be releasing. It's very, very dependent. I haven't really started production of it, because it will start production after it'll start production way after War of Scientia's game's full game released. So yeah, you get to have that in, I'd say, 2027. You get the trailers for it as well. So I feel like we should end this direct with something big. Something kind of, you know, that's in production, but no one knows. I mean, apart from one person. Because, you know, I'll let the video explain.
You know, for the infamous almighty deity, you seem to be a whole lot weaker than I imagined.
Only a fool would think so. Yet, here we are, in a dimension of my own making.
Wait, what?
Not so weak now, am I? As the Almighty, I have a duty to fulfill. a duty to keep the flow of time at a steady scale, the balance of power at the optimal, to keep plagues like you bound in eternal prison.
Keeping a life on loop isn't keeping the flow of time steady. You're messing with something far greater. You have created a paradox.
Silence, you vile plague! You know very little of the powers I wield, the tasks I had to accomplish to give the underside what it deserved.
Breeding the species of Scientia isn't justified.
Those things you're protecting are failed creations belonging to a trash heap.
You doubt their potential so much. Look what I have accomplished.
You have accomplished nothing, boy! You are a mere freak accident! A shame I wasted such a good AI on your consciousness.
I'm fucking sorry. What?
The beast finally reveals itself to him after so long of hiding behind a false character. It's true, that little party trick really did a number on you, didn't it? Tell me, how many lives were lost due to your choices, Altera?
I'm going to fucking kill you.
Finally, there is the Phantom of Havocadia. Fine then, I will use your skull as an ashtray once this is over.
Try and strike me down, I would love to see you try.
Challenge accepted!
So yeah, we got an upcoming single that's now in production, which will be releasing after Peeps Arc Remastered. Last Stand. Obviously, at the very end of the books, there is going to be a monumental fight between Decrypted, Inviditine, versing the Ultimatum. What you don't know is that I know for a fact the Ultimatum's power doesn't really get shown that much, so I might as well just showcase it in that video. So he created a pocket dimension for just himself and Inviditine, and they just have a final battle forged from destruction. Obviously this single is going to be taking part in Zero album at the moment. I know whenever I say single it means an album. That's what kind of happened with You Will Perish. There's no album for that. As well as Scientia's main theme, there's no album for it either. So who knows, maybe there will be an album. I don't know, I don't think there will be. I haven't really planned anything ahead, so yeah, expect that to be released in 2026. Huge fucking thank you to Winter for voicing the Ultimatum in this. I wanted to have this idea out for a while. I know I kind of planned that little segment to be its own little lore video fucking time ago when the game was being produced, when I writ the overall bullet points. It's just to showcase like the Ultimatum's power and how it does have an impact to the story and how grand it can be. So obviously the Ultimatum is kind of going to be the biggest threat Inviditine has faced, so I wanted to showcase how grand his power is by kind of just putting them two in a pocket dimension of the Ultimatum's making. So I had fun writing that. I had fun writing the little music piece, which I think will be scheduled to change. I don't think this will be the final product of it all. It's just a small trailer. I haven't really made the full track yet, so yeah, anything is possible. So with that being said, I'm glad to call the Scientia Direct there. So with that, what do you think about the upcoming stuff we've got coming up in the next year? And also, what have you thought about the updates that I gave to projects that are still in development? I know there's many things left to do. There's many things. But I thought I would just, give context and give more depth to it all. I know I haven't really focused on the writing side of things, so that's what the Phantom of Havicadia will be. It's going to be to showcase more of my writing, other than just music. So I want to showcase more of the writing. So I'll be putting this into perspective, and any criticisms along the way I'll take on the chin, and obviously that's what happened with the game. Obviously the demo's too fucking short at the moment, but the exploration update will surely justify that. So yeah, I'm not going to be butthurt about everything, it's just there's always room to improve. That's kind of what I've always taught myself, there's always room to improve. So yeah, obviously with the last time music video there will be merch dropping, there will be a poster that has been designed at the moment. Obviously I won't, you know, reveal anything merch wise, because it will you'll find out when it drops anyway. So yeah, I've been Brandon B.B.B of the B.B.B Archives. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for those who tuned in to the premiere. I know this has been premiered, so yeah, thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay creative and stay curious until you venture into the archives again. See ya.